world of football and transfers is a complex place, with dozens of rules and regulations, and with the January transfer market opening in just days. Welcome to this Cash Coach video explaining financial fair play and how it might affect world football's newest rich club, Newcastle United. Firstly, what is financial fair play and how does it work? Well, back in the days when Newcastle were last challenging near the top of the table, the 1990s and early 2000s, world football was pretty self-regulating. If you spent more than you earned, then you went bankrupt. It was pretty simple. And while sponsorships and commercial deals to bolster the bank balance are nothing new, they were limited by the audience, which was generally just the country the league was being played in. Don't forget that Alan Shearer, yep, this guy, was once the world's most expensive player at £15 million. That's about 29 million in today's money. But then came globalisation. Massive exporting of TV rights, fans all over the world watching, and sponsors keen to capitalise on their newly found audience. With greater demand and the same supply, the prices of advertising shot up, and so did players' wages and values. Globalisation also led to new people, companies and countries gaining mega wealth. And there's no better way to show off your wealth and standing to the people you want to do business with than to buy a top football club and win trophies. The football sugar daddy was born. First Chelsea under Roman Abramovich, then Manchester City, Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain. With all these newfound riches, player values and wages have spiraled. The likes of Barcelona have taken huge loans to try and keep up, but now have massive debts. Something had to happen. And it did. Financial fair play came in. So what is it? Essentially, financial fair play attempted to stop sugar daddy owners from treating football clubs like toys or marketing exercises and just throwing money at them. In essence, financial fair play says that no football club may lose more than €5 million in any 3-year accounting period. What this means is that the sum of all cash coming in, minus the sum of money going out on considered items, which are players, transfer fees, wages and bonuses, cannot be more than €5 million in the red. There are things which aren't considered for financial fair play, but we'll come to that. Let's look at what this means for the new consortium that owns Newcastle United. Now, €5 million isn't going to go far, but Newcastle have actually run a pretty tight ship over the last 3 years and have made about £100 million in profit. So let's convert those euros to pounds and see what they've got to work with. About £104.25 million. Based on the new owner's lofty ambition to challenge for the Premier League and the UEFA Champions League, £104 million isn't going to buy much. Based on the current valuations on Transfer Market, which tracks the expected values of world players, that will buy you about 2/3 of a Kylian Mbappe, 1 Jack Grealish, or 2.5 Philippe Coutinhos. Not much of a team-building war chest. In fact, the entire value of all of the players Newcastle have been linked to since the takeover comes in at a whopping £796 million. And that's at market value. So, depending on the importance their current clubs put on them, that could easily result in an asking price of over £1 billion. That's a long way over Newcastle's financial fair play budget. So how can Newcastle get around this? Well, it all comes down to creative accounting. So to explain, Newcastle have £104 million on the cash side of their balance sheet. Let's just add that in there. Let's say they spend £50 million on Coutinho. Is he worth that? Well, Transfer Market doesn't think so, and even Barcelona's valuation is a little bit less. But for the sake of simple maths, we'll assume they get him for 50 mil. So that money disappears off the cash side. So now that's half the money gone. How can we build a team like this? Well, we can't. So here's where some creative accounting comes in. Over here on the asset side, a Philippe Coutinho appears because they've bought him. He's worth 50 million on day one. So although we spent that money, we gained a squad player as an asset, So 50 million cash out and a 50 million player asset in. They cancel each other out. Nothing gained, nothing lost. So why can't Newcastle just buy whoever they want and add him as an asset? Well, remember this guy? Say hello to Jean-Marc Bosman. Jean-Marc Bosman went to the European Court in 1995 and successfully argued that when he was out of contract with his club, he was free to leave. So that means that at the end of their contract, a player is worth zero as an asset to their club. So, back to Coutinho. Let's assume Newcastle sign him on a 5-year contract. What that means is they have 5 years before he's worth nothing. So doing some simple maths, 50 million divided by 5 is 10 million a year that they have to remove from his asset value each year. So after 1 year, Newcastle have lost 10 million on their new player. 10 million is better than 50, and now they still have 94 to spend on the rest of their squad. Assuming they could get all of their new signings on 5-year contracts, this has the effect of quintupling the money they can spend, and not fall foul of financial fair play. So now they have a whopping 520 million. Don't forget as well that any of the existing squad they manage to sell will be added to the amount of money available. So if they can raise another 50 million for the existing squad players, then this means Newcastle can potentially have as much as 770 million available to them, should the new owners want to spend that. They can also upgrade the stadium to get more fans in, drive more revenue to offset those losses, and upgrade the facilities to sell much more merch. They could invest in training and academy centres to improve their players and culture their own homegrown talent. None of that is actually considered by financial fair play, and Chelsea have already shown how much value there is in turning out young talent that costs nothing, and then promote them to the main team, or sell them on to give more funds for those world-class acquisitions. And that's it, financial fair play in a nutshell. Click if you love this video and subscribe and turn on notifications to get notified when we post new content.